Hey guys, and welcome to the first of 8 parts on a beginner series. So, um, it's gonna help you get through from the interface of the Unreal Engine to the making your first game to finishing your first game. So it's gonna be 8 parts. Each video should be less than 30 minutes, I would say. One of them is probably going to be long, and that's going to be one that we address errors on and how to deal with them. Today's video is on the interface, and then, yeah, I'll do one every Friday. I know this one's released on Saturday, and that's because I had some technical difficulties yesterday recording. I recorded it, and it didn't record, like twice. So yeah, let's hope it records this time. So really, just to go through the basics, please subscribe. We're almost to 100 subscribers. We're at 80. We hit 80 today. Yeah, and once we hit 100, I'll probably do something special. I don't really know what. Comment down below what you think we should do. And yeah, and then once we hit 1,000, I'll probably start doing lives or something. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Or make sure to like the video. It just helps with the algorithm, and it will share it with more people. And we'll hit 100 subscribers faster if you like the video. And it really only do that if you like it. If you don't like it, please dislike or comment down below why you didn't like it. Like, yeah, it helps me build better videos and stuff like that. I mean, please don't dislike it because it doesn't share it. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So this is the interface. You may load up and you create your first project. And I'm not doing the starting menu because it's pretty self-explanatory. It opens and it says create new project, and you create a new project, and I think you name it before you get into the settings. But then there's ray tracing, 2D mesh, or realistic or something like that. And then I guess you do choose third person, like whatever template you want. And it can range from, you could do a blank template, and this is a third person template where I am right now. See, if I press play, I'm in a third person character. So yeah. So let's talk about the controls. So to move around the interface like this, like so, you have to right click and then WASD. Right click is to look around, but if I'm pressing WASD right now without right clicking, it won't do anything. So you have to right click. Left click just does around the X axis on it. And that's really the basic controls. I mean, if you press play and you hear and you're like, oh, it's a little small for my game, you press F11, or I think you have to click. Yeah, so you have to click it to really gain control. I think it says it up in the corner. And then you press F11 and it does full screen. And then you press it again to exit full screen. And then you just press escape to end your play session thing. And okay, let's go through the basic stuff. So place actors. This is it's going to be the top right or top. Oh my goodness, I'm mixing up stuff. I'm brain dead today. Top left. So it's going to be right there for the default like interface. So this is going to be your main stuff you use. It can range from like actors, empty actors, that means there's no code or anything, to really like lighting, cinematics, geometry, visual effects, once again cinematics, lights, and the basic stuff is stuff you use quite a bit, like shapes, again dragging a cube, or point light, just kind of creates a light, as you can see, and it says lighting needs rebuilt now. It's just because I added that and it just needs to go through some processing stuff. Player start is this little capsule right here. It's where your player starts. I don't need an empty character. I was gonna drag out player start. See, so you have this capsule, and you can set it to where you spawn in this capsule, or you can randomize it to where you spawn in either of the capsules. Like it just kind of depends on what you want. It's just kind of like a spawn point, basically. Box triggers can be used for checkpoints. It's really just like when something enters the box, like enters this little invisible box, something could happen. A cinematic, it just triggers something, from something spawning to like it could, when you walk in this box, a boss could spawn. Like, I don't know, but like, limit your imagination. Going down to the content browser, something you'll use a lot. It will spawn in like or it will spawn in. Okay, it will kind of open up like this, and then I like to put this out because it makes it easier. But so it makes it easier to kind of look around your interface type thing, like from meshes to geometry, instead of just having your folders out and you have to enter your folder and then you have to memorize where stuff is. You still have to in here, but it makes it a little easier. I like to have it out. Some people don't. It just is up to you. If you right click in your content browser, you'll open up this interface, and this is import stuff, blueprint classes. You have all these different blueprint classes. I won't get into that. I recommend watching my blueprint tutorial. I think I'm gonna be remaking that because it was pretty bad. But so watch my blueprint tutorial and I go into that. World Outliner is something you'll use a lot too, and this shows everything in the level, in your world, everything that's in it. From like, here's your here's your cube right there. There's your ramp, or that's the stair. That's the ramp. That's the little bump thing, and then like it arranges everything. Oh, I zoomed out there. If you didn't know, you're in this little box. What else is there? So you have your details right here. This is anything you click on, it changes for the details. This is the details of it. Where it's located, what is it? Is it a static mesh, a stationary mesh, or a movable mesh? And I'll probably do a tutorial on those three because they can get complicated. Most of the time it's going to be a static, but it could be stationary and movable too. Physics, collision, stuff that you use quite a bit, lighting, like you just have all this different thing. Half this stuff you don't use like ever, but you could. So another thing that I usually like to open is you go to Windows and then World Settings. This is where you'll change your game mode, your like it just like stuff that you use, VR stuff, audio, like it's just kind of your world settings. So one thing that you can do, and I recommend that, so one thing that you can do is you can just change everything. You can make it bigger. You might have noticed the X. You can X it out of stuff. Like I could just go like, okay. So you can just exit out of stuff. You can just do that. I could exit out of the content browser. And if you're like, oh, well, I accidentally did that and I didn't mean to do that. See, I can exit toolbar too. I think I can exit out the viewport too. See, so you're like, well, I deleted everything. What do I do now? You can go down to Window, and then load layout, and then default editor layout. And there you go, it's back. I recommend that you do mess around with this, build your current stuff. Depending on what I'm doing for that current thing, I'll change things. Like if I'm doing a lot of level design stuff, I'll have the viewport bigger, and the content browser I'll usually like stick right here. So I have everything right there so I can drag it in. But so it just kind of depends on what I'm doing at that current moment. As you can see, I've just messed stuff up. But yeah, so just see what you're doing for the current moment. I recommend doing that, changing some stuff up, and yeah, so pause right here, do your thing, and then yeah. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you changed up your thing a little bit. One thing I am going to get into is you might have noticed you don't have this mega scans, and that's okay. You don't need the mega scan stuff up there. It's one thing I noticed in my first tutorial. This has to do with Quixel mega scans. This has to do with Quixel mega scans, Quixel bridge, and stuff like that. So if you go to Quixel mega scans, which I think it may be in the Epic Games launcher, I think they may have a link to it. But here, I'm gonna cancel the save. So they may have a link to it, but basically what it gives you is a bunch of just free content stuff, like materials, static meshes, like you can get trees, lake water, like whatever. So, and then what that comes from is Quixel Bridge. If you download it, you don't have to. It just makes it really easy to export it straight to this. So as soon as you download it, it'll export it straight to your Unreal game. So then you can just go ahead and just throw it in right after that. It makes it really easy, and I think they range from, I think you can get up to 8K meshes on there, or materials, which is really good. But yeah, so that's the basics of the stuff. One more thing I'm going to get into is the lighting needs to be rebuilt. You see this up here? You don't know how to rebuild it. Up here, build, right here, you do drop down and then build lighting only, or yeah, so build lighting only. And then once you do that, I'm going to stop it, but it's going to, actually, no, never mind, I'm already doing it. It's going to take a while. Well, yeah, depending on your computer power and how much is in the level, it's going to take some time. Like, see, it's building the lighting. I've had times that I've waited half an hour because my computer was slow and I was working on a photorealistic map. I don't know why I was. Don't ask why. I don't know. See, it just finished. So, this is not the fastest computer. But yeah, so that's the basics. And as you see, it's all rebuilt now. You don't have that thing up there. And yeah, oh, I'm going to get into modes. I just noticed this. Landscape, foliage, brush editing, and mesh. Landscape is for when you're molding the landscape. Foliage is for when you're placing trees, bushes, grass, buildings, whatever. That's the foliage. And then brush editing is for the geometry stuff over in here. You can extend the box into a rectangle, however you want. You can add sides. And then mesh painting is basically what it means, mesh painting. So yeah, that's really about it. So next video we will be doing, let me pull it up right here. Next video we'll be deciding, I'm going to be showing you the benefits of C++ versus like C++ or Blueprint, and you're going to decide what one you want to do. So if you want to do Blueprint, that's what I started off learning, or you can do C++, which I'm learning C++ right now because I've gotten decent at Blueprint. So and they work really well together. So it's not like, well, I've learned Blueprint, so I'm not going to waste my time on C++ because I already know how to do Blueprint. You could actually, a bunch of Unreal developers use Blueprint and C++ in their stuff because C++ has a wider variety of stuff to do. So I'm going to show you the benefits of C++, benefits of Blueprint. I'm going to tell you what I personally recommend learning first, And then I'm going to tell you about what to do if you learn if you decide to do C++, or if you decide to do Blueprint. And if you've already done Blueprint, then I mean it still works for you, because, or if you've already done C++, it works for you, because I'm going to show you some recommended lesson stuff that I learned from. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah, see you guys. Make sure to subscribe. Bye.